Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a live day update on Tropical Storm Ian, and we have a lot to cover right now. So, as of right now, we are looking at Tropical Storm Ian with maybe potential impacts around from Alabama all the way up to Miss Tampa Bay. So you guys can see as the cone has been shifting more towards, as you guys can see, this is where the storm is located right now. And as we make its way to Cuba, we're talking about this is probably going to be up a good tropical storm. They do have some hurricane warnings and watches in effect for parts of Cuba. The little island has a hurricane watch or hurricane warning, and then parts of the main island of Cuba has a hurricane watch. So we'll have to watch out from Cuba, and then as it makes its way towards the Gulf of Mexico, leaving the Caribbean Sea. It's gonna be around Tuesday. Wednesday, Tuesday, 2 p.m. And as it makes its way, talking about landfall around maybe Friday, which is not a set position where it's gonna have landfall. Landfall could be from Alabama all the way up to the Panhandle, all the way up to Tampa Bay. This is our probabilities. In fact, just not to confuse you guys, I'm going to turn off the 5-day forecast. We're just going to turn on the 3-day forecast because I like 3-day forecast. It's more accurate. So you guys can see this is probably a good probability that what's going to be happening. More than likely, this is what we're going to be definitely seeing. So we're talking about when it's in the Caribbean Sea, we're talking about it's going to be a hurricane, good category 1, maybe 2, around 8 a.m. on Monday, then going on to 8 p.m. Monday, and then 8 a.m. Tuesday, making impacts into the island of Cuba, and then leaving Cuba around Tuesday, around 8 p.m., and then making its way heading on to Florida around 8 a.m. Wednesday. But this is something we have to watch out for. Like I said, landfall is possible from here, from Alabama, all the way up to Tampa Bay. A lot of the models are showing landfall around like this, and then something like that, which we'll be taking a look at in a minute. Hopefully we hopefully we can maybe weekend before landfall. But let's take a look at the GFS and all that. So we're gonna take a look at the European the 00Z, and let's see. So tropical tidbits is a little bit slow today because due to high traffic because of the storm. So if you take a look at it, we're gonna go to the regions. We're gonna look at the Western Atlantic, and so this is the European. This is 00Z. We are gonna look at the 12 o'clock run, maybe yeah, I probably won't be alive that long, but as you guys can see, European saying a good category 2 for the Cuba area around Tuesday, and this is gonna be around breezy, so 3 a.m. and that makes its way into the Gulf of Mexico, strengthening more. And then right before landfall, we're talking about good category 3, making right before landfall. And then if we can zoom into that, you guys can see this is around the Tampa Bay area. Now this is the European. I think what's going to be happening is that the GFS and the European are going to end up meeting up in the middle, which is going to be somewhere, not to set, but I think that's where possible landfall is. Like I said, they're both going to meet up. You guys can see right here, the European has this making landfall, affecting Tampa Bay, going to Jacksonville, clear waters, as a category tropical storm on top of Jacksonville, and then a category I'm gonna say category 2 for a Tampa Bay and the Clearwater area, and then eventually moving off onto and then just becoming a big blob of rain and just getting some rain for the but on the other side, for the GFS is saying something completely different. GFS, if I'm always, I think the GFS is partially right, but then again, you know, this is 5 days out still talk about landfall for it affecting either the Carolinas or even up here. Let's grab that marker real fast. So affecting above here is still a 7-8 days out. So here's the GFS 60 the GFS updates in the next hour. Same thing. So I think this is preset where we're going to see up seeing a hurricane for the Caribbean, the Cuba and all that. That's preset. The GFS and European are obviously agreeing on that. Where that's going to go over Cuba. Now the placement where it is, the European has it right here, making landfall. Whereas the GFS have it, the GFS has it right here, which is only probably around, I want to say 100, 200 miles away from each other. So that's the European. So this European GFS. Now, if you look at the CMC, and then the talk about the Carolinas, this would be a good tropical storm for the Carolinas if this was to happen. It doesn't. It just matters where it takes its bend because I'm gonna take a minute and look at the jet stream. Jet stream is supposed to dip down something like that. We're supposed to have cooling temperatures for the north, and then maybe parts of the south, like Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina. But we'll get to that in a minute. And as you, like I said, we're gonna take a look at the CMC real fast. So if we take a look at the CMC, the icon CMC and okay, there we go. So if we grab the marker out, so I'm gonna actually now I think the CMC is agreeing with the GFS after it's done. But like I said, that's a matter of time because that's a long ways out. We're still about 5 days from landfall. As you guys see, agrees right here, but it has more of a landfall. So that's the CMC. The Europeans right here, and the GFS is right here. Or no. No, the GFS is more like right here. So they have a visual idea where we're going to probably end up seeing landfall, which is around Florida. It's just a matter where it's going to be when it takes that bend. If it takes a bend like this, takes two of the sudden turn, then it goes in Tampa. Or if it's just saying the GFS, like it's saying, takes a later bend, causing it to do that, and then get pushed out by the jet stream and a trough. Or the CMC, where it's saying right up the middle, and then same thing as GFS. So you guys see right there, a good tropical storm for the north. Eventually weekend off going to sea. You got your front right here. You play it back. So yeah, like I said, we're very uncertain. We're talking about landfall. The CMC says around Friday, so everything's pretty. A lot of the models are saying landfall around Friday, so I can say that that's probably a case scenario. That's something that's probably more happening. Not 100% sure. We're still about 5-6 days out from landfall, but you get the visual point where we're going to be seeing where we're not 100% sure where landfall is now, because if you look at the National Weather Service's hurricane cone or tropical storm cone, you guys can see that it has majority of Florida covered like this. It has something like that covered like that. It's because they're not 100% sure where this landfall is. So we took a look at all that stuff. Let's take a look at the spaghetti models and what the storm's looking like. So let's see. All right, so this is the updation right now. All right, so our maximum winds are 40 kT, which is killing knots. The center pressure is 1001 MB. So like I said, this storm is not really strong, but next probably 24 hours, 48 hours, you can definitely see this thing becoming a strong category 1 So this is what it's looking like. It's really not defined right now. It's very broken apart, as you guys can see. It's having trouble getting it's organized. It's having trouble doing that. But once it farther into the Caribbean Sea or near Cuba, it's definitely gonna have that rotation. Hopefully, probably the next 48 hours we're looking at. But that's just what the storm looks like right now. We're gonna take a look at um just gonna take a look at the cone just one more time just to get a visual look of it, so you guys can see. I will anything off the 3-day cone because this is more accurate, more right. You just go simply out to the 5-day cone. This is where you start to get inaccurate stuff. Like I said, if you live anywhere in this cone, anywhere in this cone, landfall is possible from down here to the Panhandle, even Alabama. I won't even count you guys out of it. Just because you guys are not in the cone doesn't mean you guys are gonna see landfall. Now I can say that down here in the south part of Florida, you guys are probably around Miami, Key West. You guys are probably safe. You guys would definitely the Key West. You guys would definitely get some cloud cover from the storm. And maybe some high tide for a few hours as it makes its way towards the landfall area, which is not 100% sure. So, like I said, if you live anywhere in this cone, even maybe in Alabama, keep your guards up because anything is possible. So, we're gonna take a look at the intensity, guys. You guys can see, a lot of the models show in the next 60 hours, that it's become a category 3, and then we're talking about the next 24 hours that this thing could become a category 1, and the next 48 hours become a category. So I think it's pretty set that we could probably end up seeing a category 3. A lot of models, some models are showing category 4, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens with the storm in the next 24 hours. We'll see. Like I said, next 12 hours has very low hopes of even getting to a category 1. Now, in the next 24 hours, we have a higher chance of getting that category 1, and then maybe the next 72 hours, we see a category 3 or 4, and that's going to be around when it's just making landfall or at Cuba for them, and then maybe the next 84 hours, that's when it's probably going to leave in Cuba. I would say, yeah, 84, 80 hours when it's leaving Cuba. So that's your intensity guide. Now let's look at the GFS ensembles. I think these just updated. Yeah, GFS ensembles are everywhere. Like, and this is part of the reason why I'm a little iffy with the GFS, because the GFS is kind of hard time with the ensembles, but it's I think, like I said, the European and GFS are just gonna simply maybe meet up in the middle. GFS is good for accuracy. The European is also good for accuracy. Actually, the European has been known more is the king of hurricanes. It knows where 95% of the time making landfall is within a 3-day range. Like I said, we're still Friday, so that's about 6 days from now. Yeah, 5 days from now, and you guys can see this is the GFS. Yeah, not looking too good because the GFS is just not doesn't know what it's doing really with the ensembles. Yeah, so let's look at the here's the GFS ensembles too. That one was tracks. Use this one now. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the GFS real fast, and then maybe the global hurricane where they put all the ensembles together. But here's that GFS ensembles, and you guys can see the GFS ensembles are not as compact as the Europeans. We'll take a look at the Europeans in a second. But you guys can see it's more wider when it comes to the GFS ensembles, and we're talking about a pressure of 971 in the 96 hour range, and next 48 981, which makes sense. It's got this Caribbean water where it's in that area where it could very deform, or I meant form. It has warm water. The shear is very low. I know there's some shear on the backside of right in here. Like I said, we're going to keep an eye on that. Like I said, if the shear does die off, this will have the storm allow it to strengthen. With intensity, I think the GFS, a lot of the models are showing that it dies before, or weakens significantly to a category 1, from category 4 to category 1 right before landfall, which is good news, definitely, because you don't want a category 4 making landfall. But um, at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to be the possible. Like I say, it's possible. Like last year, but then again, I've seen this before where forgot the storm. It made landfall in Texas last year, and it was supposed to be a tropical storm making landfall, and then it came up, and maybe within the last like with 24 hours in, it came a category, I think 1, category 2, around there, and it was supposed to station for a category. I meant a tropical storm, and it strengthened simply. So like I said, even these models within 24 hours are not always right, but 95% of the time they are right. You only had that 5% chance where the models are wrong. And I've seen it personally. One day you're in the cone. That's the thing about hurricanes. It's one day you're in the cone, the next day you're not in the cone, and one day the next day it just keeps flopping back and forth, flop, 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 flop. That's just the thing with hurricanes, especially when you're still 5 days from landfall. That's definitely a case scenario. Now the next 24 hours, the cone should be set in stone right before landfall. If it's not, then some bad models definitely. But that is the GFS ensembles, and then we're gonna look at all the ensembles, so you guys can see. Here we go. The European is not up here, because Tropical Tidbits does not own us to the ensembles. So you guys can see the ensembles are very cluttered together. Here, zone where that is. I know the GFS did show something like this a few days ago, not that far, but showing it is gonna make something like that and then been like that. But the GFS is saying right on top. Now, as you guys can see where we're at landfall right now, not 100% sure. No, we have a few down here that are saying Tampa Bay. We have a few right here that are saying the Panhandle of Florida. We're having some that say the Bend of Florida. Like I said, it's just a lot of the malls are not 100% sure, just due to because that is 5 days still out. We're talking about. So, like I said, don't have your guards down, but still, don't believe models out from 5 days, because 95% of the time they are wrong. But it's safe to say within a 3-day range, you can definitely say, hey, this is probably gonna be more likely. But like I said, still with the 5 days, we probably won't be knowing what the landfall is gonna be looking like. And another 3 days, we'll probably find out around probably Tuesday, Wednesday, where we're gonna see the landfall finally happen. I also have Twitter. Let me show you guys that. So we're gonna type in. So you guys want hourly updates or updates? Normally, I do post up here. I'm gonna give you guys the Twitter. Here's my Twitter account. Like I said, we could definitely see Hurricane Ian in the next probably 24 to 48 hours name. So here is the Twitter name. You guys follow that, and you guys get hourly updates. I haven't posted nothing since I'm live right now. But, you want hourly updates or updates normally, follow Twitter. It's right here, Storm Chasers 1 or Jacob's Weather. Brand new brand new banner for Halloween time, getting the Halloween vibes. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at. We covered the Tropical Tidbits area. This is my sweater page right here. I use it. Very good information. After the video live stream's done, I will put a link down below. So, like I said, so we're just gonna take a look at just to start off, we're just take a look at what we're gonna see. So going off topic on Ian, and you guys can see we have Hermine, which is not gonna affect too much. Tropical Storm Gaston, that is going that way, so not really going to affect anyone. And this is Disturbance 1, which is not really the one we're really focused on right now. Is and this one's going to be U.S. landfall on impacts, which we're not 100% sure, like I said. from Florida to maybe Alabama. Like I said, keep a heads up. Um, but yeah, that's what the what's in the Atlantic right now in the Caribbean Sea. So here is the tropical storm force wind probabilities, and as you guys can see, we're definitely on the set in stone on Cuba right now, where it is 100%. All right, so here's your key right here, where we're gonna have 90%, 80% for red, 70% for reddish orange, yellowish orange is 60%, dark yellow 50%, yellow 40%, bright yellow 30%, yellowish green 20%, um, green 20%, and dark green 5%. Like I said, if you guys look at the tropical storm probabilities right here, guys, you guys can see that you realize it cuts off on Florida. It's because it's 9% set in stone. As you guys can see, 70%. This is where, but this actually moves with the cone. So if the cones, say if the cone goes more towards the west, this is also going to move towards the west. Say if the cone moves more east, the cone, this is going to move with the cone. So this is always going to move with the cone right here. This is all based off the cone right here. And pretty much how they get their cone um, is they use spaghetti models. They compare them all, and they put it west of some of those spaghetti models, and then they pretty much get an average out, and that's how they get their cone out. So like when they make the stuff right here, this is they make an average out. So it's saying something like that. Um, but definitely, this is something you definitely have to watch out. This, like I say, even on land right now, we're still a 60% chance of from the bend of Florida all the way up to and then 50% chance of Tampa Bay getting force wind, tropical storm force winds. Now, hurricane. I bet you if you go to hurricane force winds, yeah, it's gonna be low. So we're gonna take a look at that real fast just to show you guys this is tropical storm force winds, and then you go to hurricane force winds probability. Like I said, very low because they're not even set in stone where this is gonna make landfall. It's kind of say if you put that in red or purple and where the cone is, then you're like, and it doesn't happen. You gotta play it safe. So what they do is wherever is maybe only about 50 hours, 50 to 48 50 to like I think 68 hours they put a better probability in front. Like I said, you guys can see where we have 50% chance on hurricane force winds, and that's for parts of Cuba. Like I said, and then you go up here into Florida, then you guys are at like a 30% chance. That's how it is. So we're gonna take a look at the rival for wind times. I'm not gonna go anything past I would say Monday 8 p.m. is not really believable. This is an estimate. This is not set in stone. And you guys realize how it's so widened. Like right here, you guys can see where the storm is located right now. It's so thin because it's set in stone. But as the days keep on going, the farther it gets, the wider it gets. So that's the probabilities. Like I said, it's standing out from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. Thursday. That would be impossible. That would be hard. And I think, like I said, if this was to say this is probability, like I said, the storm would be right in here. Florida, you guys could be probably seeing from tropical storm force winds around Wednesday. But like I said, that right there is kind of inaccurate. I would only go anything past Cuba because the stuff, like I said, the wider it gets, the more less confidence it has. But the thinner it is, the more confidence and pretty set in stone it has. Like I said, and as the storm keeps moving, this is all gonna shrink eventually, and then as where it makes landfall is still on set to be determined. If you guys are just now enjoying the live stream, make sure that subscribe button, like, comment, and share this video. You know, like I said, we're updating you guys on Tropical Storm Ian, soon to become a hurricane, probably in the next 48 to 24 hours. Here's the hurricane hunters. they jumped into this, and I think they, like they said, they don't really see anything that's wait for it to load. All right, like I said, they really don't see nothing like um too much. I think they are flying in it today, and then they'll fly in it tomorrow, which I think that comes out round 2, maybe. Yeah, but you guys can see the middle is where we're probably seeing um the green, like the right side of the storm right now, where you guys see it. We're seeing around 30 to 40 kilonauts kt, which it would be, I believe, 50, 55, yeah, 55 miles per hour. And like I said, the storm's really not their center right now. We're only seeing a pressure of 1003. Like I said, they flew from Cuba, made their way out, and found the center of the storm, and the side right here on the right side of the storm. And right now, like I said, it is going to start forming and getting its intensity. In fact, you know what? Let's go take a look at the wind shear and dry air for this storm. So, if you take a look at it, so here's that dry air system. Just waiting for the load. So, like I said, here's our storm right here. You guys can see there's no dry air. It's really moist on the back side of it right now. You know, you do have a little, but that's not really gonna hurt it or anything. Now in the Gulf of Mexico, we do have a little bit, which is nothing too bad. This is eventually probably gonna moving off. By the time it makes it into the Gulf of Mexico, eventually. As you guys can see, you know, here's our high right here. You guys can see where the outflow is, and then you guys can actually, it's pretty cool because you can actually see the dip in the jet stream right there, where you guys can see where that dry air is right in front of it. And backside of it also has dry air, so you kind of see that jet stream dip down, which we'll also take a look at that because that's something in the future that to get an impact on the storm, where it can go, where it can steer it, and what it can do with it. So let me just see something. I'm trying to look for wind shear map. It's been a minute since I've been on this website, so and actually I was pull this key out, guys, if you want to read it real fast. This is going to be talking about the Florida Keys, Peninsula into midweek. Through midweek, additional flooding on rivers, northern Florida and parts of the southwest or southeast. Pardon me. U.S. can't be ruled out this week. So like I said, you can't rule that out for the southeast of U.S., which southeast would be Florida and also Alabama, Mississippi. Cannot be ruled out, like they said. Hurricane force winds are expected in portions of western Cuba beginning late Monday, where a hurricane warning is now in effect. Efforts to protect life and property should be rushed to complete. And then that's pretty much. And if you want more information, go to hurricanes.gov if you guys want to stay updated. So, like I said, this storm is definitely going to be making landfall in the U.S. We're just not 100% sure where it's going to make landfall. For probability between Tampa, you know, it's between, I want to say, just to, you know, I'll pull it out. We're just going to look at this cone. We're just going to pull it to 3 days. So like I said, we're just going to look at 5 days still. But the probabilities is from Panhandle, Florida, all the way up to, I want to say, Clearwaters, Florida. It may be even a little bit, tad bit south of Clearwaters, Florida. Like I said, the things you can expect with the storm are going to be hurricane force winds, even if it's category 1. Surge is definitely going to be a case scenario. Say if it goes on top of Tampa Bay, flooding is going to be really bad for them because they're due to uh due because they're under sea level. Now I will say from it being the other day where we're seeing models saying that was going to do this and then go on to that Carolina Sea, it shows you how fast a model can trend west east very fast. Like I said, now the European is saying something like this. Wrong track. European is saying something like this. It's pretty set in stone with the GFS, but then it shows it doing that and then something like that. And then the GFS obviously has something like this and something like that. Like I said, the malls are very un unsure where this landfall is, and then so GFS is around here, the Europeans right here. So what would the National Hurricane Center do, or National Weather Service do? They just put it right smack in the middle of them because just to play it safe and sorry. Now, like I said, this cone is very wide. We went from being all the way from whole entire Florida being covered to now the north of Florida is being covered, and then the east side of Florida is being covered, and then the Tampa Bay, and then the Panhandle of Florida being covered. So, like I said, Miami, Key West, you guys are definitely like I said, Key West, you guys might see some waves from the storm. It may be some cloud cover and maybe some tad bit of winds, just a little bit, but otherwise, no impacts on you guys that are going to be catastrophic damage to you guys. The more focus is between Alabama all the way up to Tampa Bay. Definitely, like I said earlier, definitely see hurricane force winds, surge, damage. It just depends. In fact, actually, I think when this is 11 a.m. advisory. Oh, okay. So this is brand new. This just came out. This came out around 11 a.m. So you guys see now we have it having a hurricane. Like I said, 5 days out. Not set in stone. Just don't go off to 5 days. Anything that's white is probably gonna be more likely set in stone. Like I said, we're gonna take a look at the jet stream just to see because, like I said, jet streams or even troughs. We're gonna take a look at that too. So let's go tropical tidbits. Like I said, troughs have a big play on the hurricanes, jet streams. That's what pretty much controls all these storms. Excuse me. That's pretty much what controls all these storms. So we take a look at we're just gonna take a look at the wrong one. Clicked the wrong one. All right, so this is just correct. Yes. Wrong one. Man, it's been a minute since I've. All right. Let me figure this out. Okay. Now we're just gonna go into. Now we're just gonna tropical tidbits. It's been minutes since I pulled this out. It's been about since winter, so I'm still trying to. I've been posting lately. It's been about 3 weeks since I posted a weather video, so it's kind of like trying to get back in rhythm because I got school and all that. So, all right, here we go. So this is gonna be our jet stream. We're just gonna do the GFS. As you guys can see, as of right now, where our jet stream is, or no, this was a little bit back. We're just gonna go now. All right, so this is what jet stream is. The jet stream is dipping down like this, and say if the storm was to come in like now, I'm saying make a landfall, it would get pushed in and then bam, something like that. causing it. And like I said, you can definitely see where Fiona, which is making impacts in Canada, no one's really talked about that. I feel like it is some catastrophic damage. That's record history, I think, for a Category 3 to make it up there. And you can definitely see where the storm was down here, and then when it got into that jet stream, the jet stream just ate it away. Like, it just took it, it just demolished that storm. Like, so the jet stream is the strongest thing. So you guys can see, here we go. As the storm, definitely see the jet stream did back up, which is going to allow the storm to push in, and that's what's going to happen. That's the problem right here, is the jet stream so up, it's not going to get up, so it's going to cause it, saying it's going to be landfall of the Panhandle. Now we'll take a look at the European, and as you guys can see, your jet stream's all the way up there, and then the storm gets incorporated or in with the jet stream and take it off the sea. Now, if we take a look at the European, we're going to take a look at the 00Z, and you guys can definitely see the difference on the jet stream. Let's see, 0Z. Push it forward. Like I said, you can definitely see where Fiona, jet stream right here, gets a bam, pushes it. So let's grab the marker fast, and alright, so this is as of right now. So as it pushes it, we're gonna definitely see some a cold front come through tonight for the east parts of the north and east, and that's gonna cool some stuff down. That's why you guys in that jet stream is gonna dip down, which is gonna allow temperatures around the 70s and lower 70s and mid 70s for parts of Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, even parts of South Carolina to cool down a little bit. So here's your storm, and as you guys can see, the European is saying something different. That's what's causing this storm to push into Tampa Bay, is because this jet stream right here is almost basically on top of North Carolina, which is going to cause it to... And then the European does show the jet stream easing off after landfall, but then that's what's going to cause it to... It's going to cause it to do a funny track, which is going to bam, landfall, and then bam. It's saying something like that, and then eventually again. Like I said, jet streams are a big part of what happens with hurricanes. You see it all the time for Carolinas. Even highs, troughs. Say if a trough was to build up right here, and then you got a high that's settling into here, and then you got that jet stream that's dipping down. What's going to be happening is it's going to get drawn into that trough, getting taken out, and then zoom out with that jet stream pushing it forward. Like I said, we're going to definitely take a look at that. Let's see. Alright, here we go. So like I said, we're definitely going to have a high building. This is the European. We're just going to play it back, and I'm just going to play it back all the way. Alright, let's go back to regular hour. And the H's stand for high. The red's highs. The dark blue is lows. And this is what helps control your storms. This is what helps sometimes block it. And I will go into Atlantic just to show you guys a good example. So you guys can see, jet. This is the European. Yep, European. European is saying a trough is going to be right here. Which I think that trough is going to be taken by there. And then it's going to say, oh wait, a high builds in right on top. Like I said, you guys see, it's talking about landfall Thursday, and then moving sitting there because the highs is gonna keep it there because it builds on top of the north. And what's gonna force it is gonna force it to do something like that. You guys watch it, yep. And then that high finally moves off, which is gonna allow the storm to happen. You're gonna talk about Saturday, and then get pushed out like that. Like I said, the highs, if a high just sits there, which you would think with you would think Oh, wait, the storm should go this way. Yes, you would think, but if there's another high that's right there, that's just going to allow, and there's nothing to pick it up, simply like a trough, which there's nothing to pick it up here. You know, you got this high that's sitting right here on top of the north, and there's no trough. This is a trough right here, but it's not very strong. It's very weak. You need a strong trough to pick it up and carry it out to see or follow it. So like I said, you guys see it, and then you finally have that time to move, and then bam, like that's works. So we're gonna take a look at we're gonna look at the Atlantic, just to show you guys that this is how it normally looks. Alright, so let's see. So this is what we normally see. Let it play. So the highs right here, you got your trough right here, which you would think the trough is simply too far away for him to pick that up. So that's the reason why it's not going to follow it like that. It doesn't have time. And plus that trough's going to leave before it can allow it. Then you're going to have the high that builds in on top of the north, which is going to cause that storm to sit there, and that's the European. And it's going to sit there and then eventually move off. High's going to move off and push that way, it's saying. So we take a look at the GFS real fast, and we'll end this live stream. Like I said, the GFS is showing something different, and I think this is why the bend's gonna be a little bit later, is because the jet stream is more up. The GFS is saying, and there's gonna be more of a trough that's gonna allow it to push it, and there's not gonna be a strong high over the north. So GFS is currently updating right now, but I won't be live to watch that update right now. I'll update you guys on Twitter soon. Like I said, follow it. Soon. If you guys are just now joining live, make sure you subscribe button, follow, and so here's the storm. We're gonna go. We're minus 6 hours, so that's right now. We get the marker, so you guys can see right here. GFS is even saying the high is going to build up north, so this is pretty set. I think that the high is going to build up the north, but the GFS says this high is going to move faster and is going to eventually weaken, which is going to allow it to be pushed up. And, you're going to have this high that's going to force it out to sea, and then pretty much there it is. That's how it moves. And then it's going to allow that jet stream to dip down, which is going to force it out to sea too. So like I said, troughs, jet streams, highs have a big part of the hurricane system. It doesn't seem like it, but it does. That's what pretty much steers it. Say you don't have no jet streams, no troughs, no highs. A hurricane would just simply stay there. It would just stay. It wouldn't even move, because that's what flows it. Like I said, you ever seen a hurricane ever get caught up in a jet stream? Fiona is a good example of one that went up to Canada, and that's a good example. You guys could see, as soon as it got met with that jet stream, it pretty much pushed it and expanded the storm, which allowed the winds to be more expanded. So that's pretty much what jet streams do. They push them, and then pretty much that's it. Alright guys, so that's gonna be a wrap of the video today, guys. Hopefully you liked the video. Want to go live? I know I haven't posted in a minute, but hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share this video.